Hi everyone, my name is Bee and welcome to my channel, Be Cozy. So yesterday I went and bought a jar. Isn't it so cute? Today I will be doing a TBR jar for the very first time. I've always wanted to try choosing my TBR with prompts. This is a mini spoiler for the video, but a lot of the books that I choose for my TBR this month, I've heard of from my favorite booktubers. I decided to do purple because it's going to be for April, and whenever I think of April, I think of purple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to choose 10 prompts from this jar, and that will be my go-to TBR for this month. This TBR is probably going to be a mixture of audiobooks, Kindle Unlimited, Kobo, physical books, and library books. I'm going to choose the prompts first and then I'll go get the books. So for my very first one, it's going to be, I'll show you first. I don't know if you can see it. Flower on the cover. Alright, for our next one, let's see, do I have only one? I think so. Kobo TikTok famous. So what this means is that I need to find a book on my Kobo that has gone viral on TikTok. For number 3, 200 pages or less. I have an idea about which book this is going to be. So number 4, a green book or green on the book. Number 5, a library book. That's probably going to be an audiobook that I get on Libby. Number 6, Kindle Unlimited book. Number 7, do I have one? Hopefully these aren't all upside down when you see them. A fiction book. So just a normal fiction book that I have on my shelves. Number 8, that's upside down. Okay, so this is an audiobook that is 8 or more hours, so closer to 8. It's actually perfect that it's an 8-hour or more audiobook and it was our number 8 option. I love coincidences like that. Alright, so number 9. Let's see what it is. Oh, of course it's upside down. A Kobo Fantasy. Okay, so we have 2 Kobo books so far and 1 Kindle Unlimited. Alright, our last one. Let's see what it is. Number 10. Okay. A literary fiction. I put this on here because I have a few literary fiction on my shelves, but I'm not really a big literary fiction person, so it's good. I'm finally going to be reading one. For my very first book with Flower on the cover, I chose One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake for this prompt. I am so excited for this book. I love the Atlas 6. I have read the first and second book of that series. My mom bought me the 3rd book in that series, but I'm not going to be getting that book until I see her again. So when I see her again and I get that book, then I'm going to read it. I've had it for a few months now. Oh my word, look at that inside. It's beautiful. Just look at these end covers. Like it's not even like a fancy edition either. It's just like the normal edition. I don't know about this cover, it's kind of boring, but the inside is just gorgeous. Anyway, that's our first book and I'm so excited for that. My second prompt was a TikTok famous book that I have on my Kobo. I chose The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I recently finished his other book, Under the Whispering Door, and I really enjoyed that book. This is a whimsical found family story, and I am living for that. This TBR is already starting out great. For my third prompt, it was 200 pages or less. This prompt was a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be. I thought that I would have more books that had 200 pages or less, but it turns out I only have one. That book is a middle grade called A Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. I've known about this series for a long time. My sister really likes this series and she's been trying to get me to read it for a while. So this month, it's probably gonna happen. All I know about this book is that we're following 3 children in a lot of unfortunate events that happen to them. The fourth prompt is a green book. I chose The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Ross. The main characters in this mystery are all children of mystery characters in other mystery books. My fifth prompt is a library book. I chose Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This is a translated book from Japanese to English. I heard about this book from a few different booktubers. A couple of them were Jack Edwards and Mel Reeds. This book is a compilation of a few different short stories that are all based in this coffee shop. When you sit down at a table and have a hot cup of coffee, you're able to talk to people in the past and maybe the future. The catch is that you can only talk to them while your coffee is hot. Once it's cold, then your conversation ends. I think that the premise is extremely interesting and I'm really excited to read this. My sixth prompt is a Kindle Unlimited book. Ever since Destiny Sidwell recommended this book, I have been wanting to read it for so long and I couldn't find it anywhere, and then recently it just popped up on my Kindle Unlimited and I'm like, yes, I want to read that. So I'm really excited to read this book. Number 7 is a fiction book. Don't mind the book's cover. I got this from a library sale and it's kind of beat up, but my 7th book for my April TBR is The Poet X. I'm not exactly sure how to say her name, but I think her name is pronounced Elizabeth Acevedo. I've had this book for probably over a year now. I just never really picked it up. I think it's a story told through poems, and I'm interested to see if I like it or not. Mel Reed really enjoyed this book, so hopefully I will too. I love when happy coincidences happen like this, where our 8th prompt is 8 hours or more in an audiobook. For this prompt, I chose First Live Wins by Ashley Elston. Destiny Sidwell also really recommended this book, and I think Haley Pham did too. And I'm very excited that I was able to find this on Libby. I don't know anything about it other than that they liked it, so I mean, say less. For my 9th prompt, it is a Kobo Fantasy book. The book I chose is Eva Evergreen, Semi-Magical Witch by Julie Abe. This book has Studio Ghibli vibes, and I'm here for it. The synopsis reminds me of Kiki's Delivery Service and the anime Wandering Witch: The Journey of Elena. For our very last book, which I'm probably the most nervous to read, is a literary fiction. I don't own a lot of literary fiction because I don't read a lot of literary fiction, but The Life of Pi by Yann Martel is extremely famous. I have heard about this book from quite a few people. I decided that if I was going to read any of my literary fiction books, I should just read this one since I know that it's pretty popular. All I know is that this book is about a 16-year-old boy stranded in the middle of the Pacific Ocean surrounded by wild animals. And that sounds crazy. So just for a wrap up of all the books I have for my TBR, these are my physical TBR. I have 2 Kobo books, 1 Kindle Unlimited, and 2 library books. So one is an audiobook and then one is connected to my Kindle so that I can read it on there. So I technically have 2 Kindle books, 2 Kobo books, and 1 audiobook. I'm so happy that it's very diverse in genre and in medium. Comment down below if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them if you did. I'll see you in another video.